Hey everyone, welcome back to Indicted TV. I'm your host, Negra. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. Also, shout out to my sponsor, Royalty Honey. Make sure you use promo code Negra. Keep it hard, guys. Also, if you don't want to be on my show and you want to stay home, make sure you hire Attorney Rosenberg. That is Attorney Rosenberg. On today's episode, I am just going to be sharing a quick story, maybe not quick, but a little story of the time. Well, I'm not even going to say of the time. I'm going to start it off with, so it was my last time, my last chance, and my probation officer said, if you violate one more time, you are going to youth authority, which is YA. So I was getting out, and when I got out, my mom picked me up from East Lake, and she told me, I didn't know I was moving this whole time, right? So she told me, hey, you're going to move to your aunt's house in La Puente. I don't know why people, or we thought like, well, our moms thought that before moving to a different little city was like super far and that it was going to make a difference, because it definitely didn't. So I get in the car and we drive to La Puente from East Lake. And I get there. Obviously, I'm greeted with open arms. My family loves me and I have my own room. I think I'm about like 15 years old or about to be 16 because it was the ending of like the school year or something like that. So I get to my aunt's. I'm in La Puente, and they enrolled me in this continuation. It was called, I don't know if it was Hacienda Heights or La Puente, but I think it was Hacienda Heights continuation. And my cousin's best friend, Lorraine, may she rest in peace. She was like she was a teacher, she was a counselor and a therapist, right? So I went there, and I was getting into the groove. I thought I was all cool because I'm the new girl. I'm from LA. I am just getting out of juvenile hall, so I'm thinking I'm extra cool. And guys, I'm older now. I don't think it's cool. I am just sharing a story of my childhood. So just so you guys know. And so I'm getting into the groove. I'm going to school every day, and I'm there like maybe like 3.5 weeks. And then one day they called me in the office, and they said that somebody told on me that I was selling coke. I never got caught selling anything, right, at school. So I'm like I was selling coke. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm not selling coke, you know. So they kick me. They send me home. My aunt picks me up, or my cousin. I'm not sure who picked me up. And I was like, I told them what happened. Keep in mind, my probation officer said, if you violate one more time, you're going to YA, right? So I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm gonna be in trouble. So they sent me to this, the school unified district. It was like it was a big meeting, and what happened is they ended up kicking me out of the whole La Puente district. So, man, I was worried. My probation officer didn't know yet. I don't even know if I even told her. And so that was like a Thursday or Wednesday, and so Monday comes, right? My mom comes, and then my mom and my cousin are like, okay, pinche negra, we're going somewhere. Get in the car. And they're like, they have like my bags packed. And I'm like, where are we going? Like, they never told me where we were going. And I'm thinking they didn't tell me because I might have ran away. Who knows, right? Because if I would have known where they were taking me, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to go. So whatever, we're driving. I'm in the car. I'm like wondering, like, where am I going? And we get to Pasadena, and I read like there was like there's an entrance, very beautiful, from what I recall, right? Again, reading the entrance, and it said Las Encinas mental institution or something like that. But it was, so when I read that, I was like, you guys are bringing me to a freaking mental home. So my cousin is, she's a psychiatrist, she's a counselor, she's all of that as well, right? And she's like, Pinche Negra, if we would have told you, you wouldn't have wanted to come and you would have gave us a hard time. And so my cousin's like, Pinche, I was like, how come you guys didn't tell me? She's like, Pinche Negra, if we would have told you, you would have not came. And yes, you guys, all my family calls me Negra. It's just my name. That's where they got it from, right? So we get into the place, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys brought me to this mental place, right? And I was like, why did you guys do this? So my cousin's like, so this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna tell your probation officer that you weren't doing good at school, that school wasn't working, that you were feeling depressed because you're not in your own school, that you've been crying a lot. And I was like, okay, so this we're hoping this was going to work so that I don't go to YA, right? Because obviously if you're going to go to YA, you're going to go for a minimum of 3 years, and that's the minimum, right? So I'm like, okay, so hopefully this works. So we get in there, and you have to go through like little stages as far as like, they do your vitals, they ask you, they obviously ask you a million questions like, are you suicidal? Excuse me. Are you suicidal? Do you want to hurt yourself? Why are you depressed? What makes you cry? Just those kind of things. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like, what if I answer all these, like, should I answer these questions where like, man, I want to hurt myself? But then I was afraid to say that because what if like they put me in this other room? Like, I don't know what these rooms look like, but you guys, this was a private hospital. So I don't know how other mental places look, or other mental hospitals places look, but this one was very, very nice. It was very nice. It was private. So I'm thinking like, oh my God, like, what should I lie? Well, obviously I had to lie, guys, because I didn't want to kill myself. I wasn't depressed. I was literally living my best life, guys, as a teen, like, I feel like I lived my life how I wanted to live. And obviously, these were the consequences of the life I wanted to live, I think I was like 15 years old, about to be 16. I think I already said that. So my mom and my cousin leave, and they take me to my room. It's a big room. It was like a big room. I had my own bathroom, and then it was like a lot of rooms, like, and the only thing that was dividing the rooms was like there was a door in each room. I just want to throw that in there, because I'm going to say a little story with that, right? And it wasn't so bad. Like, obviously in the mornings, they would do like the pill call. And they tried, like, I think they only tried giving me pills like for the first 4 days until I like realized that I wasn't like cuckoo like that, I obviously said that I was depressed and that I'm sad, that I put my family through whatever I was putting them through and the life I was living, and I wasn't listening, and I made me sad and cried, blah, blah, blah. I did, all that spill or whatever. So every day they will like ask us the same questions, but I kept answering the same way. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to kill myself because I obviously don't want to be in one of those white rooms or whatever. Well, at least this is what I was thinking. All the the boys, because everybody was underage. They were like from like 14 to like 16, I believe. I think that was the age range. They didn't look like crazy or anything. Like, if they just looked like normal kids, like normal healthy kids, no gangbangers, not like drug users, not like party animal girls like myself, or I mean, obviously I'm all of those in one, right? All those everything I just mentioned, I'm all of those in one. But obviously I didn't think I looked like it, right? But so whatever, they take me to my room, and then when I'm walking to my room, I see this big girl. She was dark. I'm dark, guys, but this girl was way darker than me and big, like she's scary. She was super scary. I can still see her. Like, she was super scary. So obviously, like our doors were kind of open because it was like every room had like one door here and one door here with our bed in the middle. They had their room with their beds in the middle with their own bathrooms. We all had our own bathrooms, but and we kind of, I don't think we were allowed to close those doors. And my first night there, I was terrified. Not because first because I saw the girl, right, and she was crazy looking. When I say crazy looking, like, she was crazy looking. So I'm in my bed. I'm trying to relax because all my emotions are obviously, I'm a mess just because I'm in that place, right? So then I just hear this girl like, oh, ah, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I was terrified. Like, what if this girl comes and tries to freaking kill me in my sleep? Like, I don't even think I slept. And the crazy part is like, I was never afraid to be in juvenile hall at all. All those times that I was in and out, like, I was not afraid. Like in my head, I was thinking like, man, I should have probably just gone to YA, like instead of being in this freaking place, right? Scary. It was super scary the way this girl like was. And then she like ran in my room and was like, ah, oh my goodness. It was super scary, super scary. I know you guys probably can't even visualize it, but like just try to picture this big girl, dark, crazy hair, like sticking out. Just scary, guys. To me, it was terrifying. So the next day, we were like, hey, we go to breakfast, and everybody's kind of walking and quiet because I don't know if we were talking or whatever, but it was quiet. And so then, after we had breakfast, we would clean our rooms and make sure the bed was made. Typical program. Like when you're in an institution, you get up, you go eat, make your bed. You get yourself together. And then we would have like we would speak to the counselor. So my next morning I was like, oh man, like I told them, I was like, I don't know if I want to sleep with, they're like, oh hey Miss Cruz, how did you sleep? And I was like, I don't want to sleep with that door open anymore. And they were like, why, what happened? So I told them, and they were like, oh, she's okay, this is what she does. And I was like, nah, I don't like that. I'm not, no, like, I'm not doing that. Like, so they allowed me to, like, in order for me to get better, because I'm depressed, I can't be dealing with this crazy ass girl, right? So they allowed for me to close my door. And obviously the other girl's door was still open, but she was a very nice girl. So I was there for like maybe like 3.5 weeks. I wasn't even there that long. My probation officer goes like the second day or third day, and she's like, your mom and your cousin called me and they told me that you're not doing well, and then they decided to bring you into this private hospital. And she's like, I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm not gonna violate you because you're not at school, because obviously you're working on yourself, and this is good for you because obviously we were able to take classes in that hospital as well. So it's not like you're missing school, because you're not missing school. You know what I'm saying? So they would also do pill call, and the first few days, I think I mentioned it already. For like the first 4 or 5 days, they would tell me like, hey, take these pills. And obviously they have some pills for like to calm you down, or they have some pills to like boost up your energy. And I am a normal girl. Like, I didn't need these pills. Obviously, other kids needed it, and I'm thinking like I'm a normal person, so I would see their differences because I would interact with them. And as soon as they would take these pills, they would like they weren't there anymore, and I didn't want to take the freaking pills because I didn't need them. So every time, because every day we would talk to the counselor, so every day I would kind of make it a point, like, hey, I don't feel like I should take those pills. I'm pretty calm. I don't have too much energy. Like I would talk to them, and little by little, like they would see, like they would, because they get to know you. They read you. They, everything. That's their job, to try to get to know you without you actually telling them, just with whatever little things you tell them. So yeah, those pills were, I would see a big difference in the kids. I believe I only took the pill probably like once or twice, and I just went to bed. Like, I don't even know what it was, because even if I did ask, or maybe I did ask, but I didn't. There's no phones. Like, what am I supposed to Google what the pill is? Like, like No, it didn't work that way. And so yeah, the whole thing worked out. Like my probation officer didn't violate me. I didn't go to YA, and I feel like it was a good thing. But was it a good thing? Because I mean, obviously, I still ended up on meth, extremely bad. I was still on the block 24/7. I ended up in the federal prison. So like sometimes I wonder like if I would have went to YA, like what would have happened? You know, like would I probably would have came home this freaking bald headed chola extreme girl, like super. Not that there's anything wrong with it, guys, like being bald and nothing like that. But I'm talking about like me, like that's the probably the woman that would have got out of youth authority, like all super firme, like extreme. Or who knows? Maybe I would have got my life together and took that, but I feel like I was way too young to even think about getting my life together or even anything like in the positive manner because that's what I wanted to that's how I wanted to live, So I guess what I'm saying is like guys, I guess what I'm trying to say, is you guys listen to your parents. Like, listen to your parents. We don't, we don't tell young people these stories or tell you guys don't do this, don't do this. Not because we want to be mean or because we want to, or because we're know-it-alls or because things like that. We just so you could avoid certain things that you could prevent just by listening. Like my mom would always tell me, like, "Ay, pinche negra, if si un día en tu vida you would have listened to me, you probably wouldn't have gone through half the things that I went through, that you put yourself through." And it's true. I was the kind like, "Oh, I want to go through it myself. Just because you went through it doesn't mean I'm gonna go through it." Typical teenage things. I am super grateful that obviously I didn't have a baby at 16 years old because that would have been super bad still. I still wouldn't have been able to take care of my kid. But yeah, that's my story, guys. That's the way I cheated my way out of going to YA. And I mean, when you cheat, something bad always happens because cheating is not good. So yeah, I feel like where would I be? Like, would life would change or not? Like, I don't know. But you guys listen to your parents. We don't tell you guys just to tell you guys. Like, I don't wish anything I went through on anybody. And if you have your mom and your parents or even your big homie or your big homegirl or just a friend, homegirl friend, it's the same thing. And they tell you, like, take that into consideration. Like, don't not listen just because you think you know it all. So that's my story, guys. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.